Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at some of the members of the Justice League. We have the Flash here, we got Diana or Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and we have armored up Cyborg. Where's Batman? Let's see. Holy smoking Joe, Batman! Yeah, that's right. This is the Flying Fox. Look how big and huge this thing is. Conceptual art exclusively given to Entertainment Weekly a couple hours ago. And we're going to go into this in more detail. But look at this. Look at this. This section here, you can see it holds all the members of the Justice League and some. That's how huge this thing is. You can see the Batmobile in the background there, right? And from this conceptual art, we know that has to be the holding bay door right here. So all the members of the Justice League that we have, Batman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, Aquaman, all of those guys, they fit inside of this door. That's how big this thing is. You can see how big it is compared to them, right? In fact, let's just look at the magnitude of this sucker. Look how huge that is. Of course, they'll move it off from the things that holding it up. This is a huge, huge thing, a couple stories high, right? That's very clear. That's very apparent, right? So there you go. This is the actual holding bay area. And we'll find out a little bit more about it in a minute. So the actual, we actually saw this in the trailer. Or was it a teaser? I can't remember. Maybe it was Wonder Woman teaser. But this is the actual Flying Fox seen right here. And look how massive it is compared to Diana, who's walking in. Of course, we're seeing it from ground level. Look how big that thing is. Look at the holding bay and everything there. It's a very impressive structure. Very impressive structure. Yeah. So we'll find out a little bit more about that from Entertainment Weekly. So Entertainment Weekly, they actually had an exclusive interview with Ben Affleck as well as Patrick Tatopoulos. This is what Ben Affleck had to say about Batman and also the Flying Fox and so on. The Batman is typically kind of a loner, Ben Affleck says. I guess you'd call him kind of inward, you know? And he goes on to say, with respect to the Justice League, he brings them, which is the Justice League, to the Batcave and lets them in on the central conflict of the story, who the enemy is, Affleck says. There's a little bit of Magnificent Seven aspect to it. Patrick Tatopoulos had this to say about the Flying Fox. You could put 3 Batmobiles in the lower part of it. I didn't want to do a sleek airplane. It needed to feel like an extremely avant-garde classic with the maneuverability of a jet, but it can actually carry things. Tatopoulos built a 3-story interior set for the Fox. The bottom part of the jet is a huge cargo bay, which the Batmobile sits in, the designer says. The second floor is like a cultural center with computer terminals. The 3rd story is the cockpit, where whatever floor you're in, you can see the other 2 stories. And look at this massive thing, man. So it's 3 stories high. This is probably the ground floor. That's probably the 2nd story. And the 3rd story, you know, somewhere in the back there, where it actually maneuvers the entire thing. We saw that in the Mattel and the Hot Toy sets, right? So this is a really humongous design of a thing. And basically this is the bottom story. I think this is the ground floor that Wonder Woman walks in. And she's right now in there because you can see the open bay right there, which would have been this place here. So I'm assuming that's where she is. And she's speaking to Bruce Wayne. Notice the lights in the background and the pillar structure. So this is the ground level, more than likely. And then we have here Bruce Wayne still on the ground level, the lowest level, because this is the Batmobile right here. You can tell by the missiles on the side and stuff. Okay, so this is the ground level here. Okay. And he's got a lever here. I don't know if he's turning on power somewhere for something. Maybe he's opening up the door. Again, this is the ground level because we can see the Batmobile in the background. Aquaman here. You see the lights. They run on the sides. So that's how we know it's the ground level. See the same lights here. So we know this is the same place. And you can notice the pillars. That's how we know. See the pillars again. And there are the pillars here again. All right. This is still ground level. And you can see the pillars here. You can see the lights. This looks like the 2nd level though. You can see the design is totally different. You can't see any pillars. You can't see really any lights. And you can see that this is a computer area. And according to the description by Totopoulos, it would have computers up on this floor. So looks like this is the second floor we're looking at. Another place where I saw Batman at the second floor was with Alfred Pennyworth when they were in this room and they were looking at a display also here. I'm not too sure what this display is about, but it obviously has a map here. That's a map, and then you see some sort of sonograph kind of thing going on here. This is like some kind of flow chart, something with a flowing aerodynamic flow or something. So she's obviously reading off something and talking to Batman at the same time. Okay. So Alfred Pennyworth, when he talked about longing for the days when, they only had to deal with wind-up penguins, that was also seemingly in the Flying Fox as well. And I think that would all be part of the second floor. The second floor looks really massive. You see, look at that. It seems to be a massive area. And even in the actual plane, you can see this is the bulk of where everything is, really. And then the third floor is where they maneuver and stuff. I don't know if they have autopilot or what. But I thought this was very interesting for you guys to see. So I decided to share it with you guys. Breaking news. On that note, you guys have a great one.